Hey everybody, Scott here. Today I am dropping my first Nikon picture control, and it's born out of my love of Ilford film stocks. When I shoot film, it's typically HP5 or XP2, and I wanted something that evokes that same Ilford feeling straight out of camera on the Nikon ZF. I held on to this until firmware 3.0 because I needed that film grain feature to be there to get you really nice film grain straight out of camera so you don't have to mess with anything after the fact. I'm trying to give you a great starting point, but even more so a great finished product where you don't have to do any post-processing to these files if you don't want to. The things to keep in mind when you're shooting JPEG in this recipe in particular: active D-lighting, I like to set that to normal, okay? Film grain, I turn that on. That is set to medium size and intensity of 2. And then exposure compensation, I will dial in 1/3 to 2/3 extra of a stop because we are helping offset the dulling and flattening of brightness that occurs when active D-lighting is turned on. We want active D-lighting turned on so we can retain highlight information and boost shadows and get more of that filmic Ilford look, but we don't want to completely flatten the image. So raising the exposure by about 1/3 of a stop generally is enough to take that edge off the flatness and get a little bit of contrast back in the scene. I must say, I made this for me starting out, just like I do everything. My Lightroom presets, my Fuji recipes. I wanted a really nice mono look out of my ZF tweaked to my preferences. But I love the growing community on the Fuji side of the house with recipes, and the Nikon side of the house with picture controls, and the Adobe side of the house with Lightroom presets and profiles. It's really cool to have the sense of community and remixing come together where, I can put something like this out in the world. Some people will love the way it looks straight out of camera, and they will never change anything about it, and they'll be really happy with it. Some people will try it and they'll hate it and they'll move on, and that's totally cool. And then some people will go, man, this is so close to something I think I could get behind. Let me bring it into NX Studio, make a couple of tweaks, save it as something new, and put that on my camera instead. You're not even using my work anymore. You're using a tweaked version of my work, but you love it, and it's giving you photos that you love. That's the reason I love doing this, is to put a little bit of me into the photographic world that other people can then remix and tweak or just use stock and enjoy. So anyways, here's some examples. I do have one little favor to ask you. If you try this picture control on your ZF and you like it enough to post photos to Instagram using it, I want you to tag me. I am at Scott Tucker Photo. My phone will ding. It will be 2 a.m. I will pick up my phone and I will look at that photo that you took with this picture control. Oh, and if it's good, I will give you the nicest comment. I am so proud of you. This is such a beautiful photo. Look, if it's a stinker, you're going to see emoji praying hands because the Lord knows you need it, okay? So I don't want to throw shade. I don't want to embarrass you in your comment section. If you see this, try again tomorrow. That's okay. We all post a stinker now and then. I want to see what you guys are doing for real, though. I'd love to see this out in the world and, show it off and let me know what you're doing with it. So anyways, here's some examples. Thanks for watching. Bye.